Do you think reading is the best thing you can do for your baby? 10 years ago, I would have said absolutely. Reading is wonderful. It's soothing. It builds that sweet connection. It fosters a love of books. But if you're talking about your children reaching those milestones, especially babies 0 to 3, there's something that can help them even more. Free movement and play. So hi, I'm Miss Emmy, and after 30 years in early childhood education, I've learned that children need more than just stories, that reading is great, it's a time to bond, but they need to move and explore their world. So today I'm at Green Meadows Farms. It's in Brooklyn. You can take the bus, you can take the train. There are hundreds of families out here. And now I'm going to take you through the farm, and I'll talk about ways this farm experience supports your child's development, from their coordination to their senses to their social interactions with themselves and others. So this is one of our wonderful providers here in Brooklyn, and these are some of the families in her program. This little one right here, because we support children 0 to 3 who's having a great sensory experience today. One thing that free movement and play offers children is the ability to have sensory experiences. So when children play and move, they are learning all kinds of things all at the same time. And that's really important, that they be learning everything together, not just how to move, but they're learning how to sense and feel things around them. That demonstrates that the brain and the body are working together. So look around. There are so many things to engage every sensory perception possible. One of the experiences we have when we take children out in nature is that they get to see the real size of things. So here is a llama. Your mama is a llama, but here's a real llama, and this is what real llamas look like. They're a little bit dirty. They're very cute. I mean, you cannot say a llama is not cute. But they got big teeth, so they're a little bit scary. So we can get all of these different sensory experiences just by being in the environment. And it's wonderful to read about llamas, but it's a completely different experience to be up front and close with a real llama. And one thing we always think is very important for children 0 to 3 is that they get to walk on different types of surfaces, that the surface isn't just flat, because they don't develop coordination if they're always just walking on a flat paved surface. So it's really important to be walking on different surfaces so that they develop their balance and their coordination naturally. And you know, it's wonderful to read about cows and see them in books and stuff, but there's nothing like meeting a real cow. And does a cow really say moo? I wonder, moo, moo. This guy is kind of quiet, so I don't know if we're going to find this out. Moo, moo. Unless moo means move in cow language, I'm not sure. But it's great to hear the real sounds of a cow, so that we know that they're real animals. They're not just animals in books, they're animals in the world. That's one thing I learned from my Montessori, and everybody doesn't agree with this. Montessori, they always introduce the real thing, and also Waldorf does this. They introduce the real thing before they introduce an abstraction of the real thing, like a book about it or a story about it. And you can go either way on that, but I definitely think it's important for children to have both whenever possible. So these are my favorite animals, because from 3rd grade on, my favorite book in the world was Charlotte's Web, and I loved Wilbur the pig. But one thing I could never get from Charlotte's Web was the sensory experience of smelling a pig. And that is a smell you never forget. Pigs are very intelligent animals. Here's a pony, and I think he's hungry. He wants me to feed him. And there's nothing like really seeing an animal, what they look like. The ponies are smaller than horses. This guy is used to people feeding them, but I don't have any food. But this communication that we're having, that children get to see that animals are real, that these animals they see in their books are real. This is a sensory experience, but it's also an emotional experience. So this is a very unique sensory experience. You know how in most daycares and even in homes we have the sand and water table, but this is the corn table. So giving the young children another experience of grasping and pouring and just the different weight that corn offers than sand or water. It's a very interesting and unique sandbox that appropriately fits a farm. Here's our friends, the chickens. And we relate to chickens so much. We eat eggs, there are chicken nuggets, and whenever I used to have lunch or snack or breakfast with my kids, we would always talk through all of the processes that food went to get to our table, so that they knew that food came from a farm. It didn't come from McDonald's, or it came from a farm first before it came from McDonald's. But to really see a chicken and to really know how all of the components of our world fit together, it's so wonderful. And like I said, I'm a Montessori teacher. In Montessori, we introduce children to the natural world first, like that's our approach. But I know in Waldorf, they believe that children have to know the whole process also. So they introduce children to the real world and to the things that are real in the world. And there's nothing more real than the food we eat. And then, what's cuter than seeing another animal baby just like yourself? I can smell him, I can see him, and I know he's a baby like me. Babies, for some reason, know other babies. So yeah, read those books to your baby. That's great, it's bonding time. But remember, for them to reach those developmental milestones, they need movement, play. They need to be exploring their world. And this is bonding too. Hi, I'm Miss Emmy at Green Meadows Farm in Brooklyn. You can get here by the subway, you can get here by the bus. If you are a part of our network, PS Family, we do 2 trips a year where we bring families here. So keep in mind that you will be supporting your child to develop and grow in the best way possible, and that's the best gift that you can give them. In the words of Maria Montessori, play is the work of children. Every baby is born knowing what they need to grow. And just like a flower, you can't rush them to bloom. And let's not forget Emmy Pickler's really wise words. It's not our job to teach babies what they already know. Let them roll, let them sit, let them stand. That's a demonstration that their brain and bodies are working together. So put them in an environment and put them to work.